Hell hath no fury like a gamer scorned. By loot boxes, that is. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The collective rage gamers felt toward developers for adding microtransactions to fully priced AAA titles built up over the years, with Mass Effect 3 in 2012 being one of the early adopters of the practice. By the time 2017 hit, tensions were at a fever pitch. It would only take one wrong move from developers before gamers snapped and the Twitterverse united to call for an end of all loot boxes as a whole. That wrong move was Star Wars Battlefront 2, and what ensued was an epic battle pitting players versus devs, which is currently changing the way monetization is handled in video games. These frustrating virtual crates of randomized digital items are a sensitive topic to say the least. They can contain cosmetic items like avatar changes and environmental mods, or they can house that epic weapon you've been looking for to give you a leg up on the competition. It all sounds good in theory, but it can actually be quite frustrating giving up your hard-earned cash for the possibility of a great reward, when you could easily end up with some lame new outfit. Sounds a little bit like, you know what, let's just call it what it is, it's gambling. These randomized crates grew out of the microtransaction model of free-to-play mobile games and the loot drop system used to reward players in MMOs. And the earliest example of their use is often attributed to the free-to-play Chinese game ZT Online, released in 2007. Large North American developers saw the success of ZT Online, as well as the rising success of microtransactions in social network games like Happy Farm in 2008, and began to implement the same strategy, but on a larger scale. In 2010, Valve Corporation transitioned Team Fortress 2 from a pay-once title to a free-to-play game, giving gamers the ability to earn loot boxes, which could be unlocked with purchased keys. Their aim was to get more people playing, so there would be more competitors to generate revenue from. And it worked. Valve saw their player count rise significantly after becoming free-to-play, making a small fortune in the process. As expected, it didn't take long for other big developers to hop on the loot box bandwagon. Electronic Arts was one of the first AAA developers to add microtransactions to their games, offering a loot box system for multiplayer mode in Mass Effect 3. They continue to push this trend by releasing microtransaction-centered multiplayer modes in traditionally single-player games in order to increase overall revenue from a single title. But even in EA's case, loot boxes were reserved for multiplayer modes, and their contents were largely cosmetic and didn't affect gameplay. And so, gamers largely kept their cool. Such was the case with Blizzard's well-received handling of loot in 2016's Overwatch, despite it originally being developed as a free-to-play title.
For the last time, I'm Swedish!
Gamers were willing to pay for a fully priced multiplayer game with loot boxes so long as purchased items didn't affect gameplay. The message this sent to developers, that gamers were willing to pay for once free-to-play titles with in-game monetization, caused microtransactions in gaming to soar in 2017. Many gaming publications billed it as the year of the loot box. Despite Overwatch's success and lack of major controversy, gamers saw the direction their beloved pastime was heading, and it was not appreciated. Further animosity was added to the player-dev battle when these in-game purchases found their way into single-player games and started affecting gameplay, a definite no-no for gamers. For whatever reason, the die was cast. Middle-earth: Shadow of War offered players the chance to simply pay for crates containing legendary gear and XP points, when obtaining them through gameplay took hours of grinding. Destiny 2 allowed weapon mods to be purchased from the in-game shop, and Forza Motorsport 7 offered up mods that affected race circumstances, therefore giving buyers the chance to earn more in-game currency to boost their rides. Loot boxing in fully priced games seemed to become more and more exploitative in gamers' eyes. And finally, the line was crossed when EA released Star Wars Battlefront 2. Gamers felt that Battlefront 2 placed profit before entertainment, and that the loot boxes were having a huge impact on actual gameplay. This allowed people with money to burn an unfair advantage by not having to compete with the game's tedious progression system to gain powerful upgrades. The response from EA defending their decision on Reddit resulted in the most downvoted comment in the website's history. Talk about making a statement. The outrage generated by fans of the Star Wars series caught the attention of Disney, now owner of the franchise rights, who believed that all this negative attention was hurting the brand and pressured EA to stand down, to which they did, removing microtransactions from the game for nearly 6 months before deciding to retool their loot system and try again. After some seriously disappointing loot box moments in 2017, the tide seemed to be turning after the EA fiasco. The Battlefront 2 backlash ensured the message was heard loud and clear by other companies. The developers for Shadow of War have since removed the loot boxes and issued an apology for disrupting the game's balance. Destiny 2 revamped its loot system after fan pushback, and due to pressure, Forza Motorsport 7 restored its Pay Once VIP Pass DLC and gifted owners 4 new cars for their troubles. Halfway through 2018, the trickle of changes taking place in the handling of loot boxes in video games has turned into a flood. And that's what makes this player dev battle so great. Gamers are winning. If 2017 was the year of the loot box, then 2018 is shaping up to be just the opposite. Two of the biggest AAA titles so far this year, Monster Hunter World and Far Cry 5, only have minor microtransactions and no loot boxes, while the critically acclaimed God of War has none. Even the devs of the new Spider-Man game have confirmed that there will be no loot boxes. And the biggest free-to-play game right now, Fortnite Battle Royale, ditches loot boxes in favor of a $10 season pass to unlock cosmetic upgrades. The future is looking bright. In what started as a way to make extra revenue through multiplayer modes, loot boxes began infecting single-player titles and affecting actual gameplay by 2017. Players had rightly had enough, frustrated with developers' emphasis on the bottom line. The pushback was immense, leading to both sides butting heads in a battle for the soul of video games. Luckily, gamers are winning the fight, and the case against loot boxes in gaming is growing at a rapid rate.
Old soldiers never die, and they don't fade away.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.